Hey, Cigar Box Nation TV, it is Shane Speal. Let's do a live broadcast today. How's that sound? Ooh. Alright, I want to make sure that I am recording here. How you guys doing? I'm going to try to get my question and answers set up here. I've got my laptop. Let me see. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Because I can't see your questions on my phone. There we go. So what I am going to do, Daryl Tilley says hello from Jacksonville. All right. I think I can see comments now. Yeah, there we go. All right. I'm going to show you some cool licks to do on 4-string cigar box guitar that are not this. So many people, they build their cigar box guitars, and then when they go to sell them, all they do is sit there in their vending tent and go like this. Well, let's give you some more. Let's give you, let's increase your vocabulary today. I'm going to show you some Tin Pan Alley stuff. This is a neat movable chord riff that I'm going to get into. It goes like this. We'll get into that. I'll show you some of the stuff we've been working on in my band, like... John Nickel, how you doing? Matthew Simpson. I can see you guys finally. I'm taking a look. I've got my laptop right over here. So if you see me turn off to the camera, that's kind of what I'm doing. Rent, thank you for joining me. And first of all, thank you to cbgitty.com, cbgitty.com, our sponsor who paid for this camera, paid for this time. I want to thank G.S.Monroe for this guitar. I bought this with my own money. It's G.S.Monroe. This ain't no endorsement deal. I spent my money on this thing, and it was well worth it. This is probably one of the best cigar box guitars I have ever bought. It's fully acoustic. It is an antique Acoustic box, and even unamplified. Let me turn the preamp off here. You hear this thing. It's just fabulous. Now the strings keep going out of tune because I've used this in a couple gigs already. I really do need to change the strings. But let me turn it back on. Giddy, thank you for joining me. All right, here we go. Hey, Giddy, I'm using it again. This is that preamp that you guys are seeing it here. Saw it here first. This is something that's on its way to CB Giddy. This is a prototype of a preamp. Now, I put it in a cigar box, but this is even light years better than the other preamps we were using. It's what I'm using in concert now. It sounds great, easy to control. It's got volume, bass, mid, and treble. And I'm plugged into my PA, and you can hear how pretty it sounds. Matthew Simpson said he was watching a documentary on the banjo last night, and they discussed Gus Cannon at length. Matthew Simpson, please post a link or the name of that documentary because I definitely want to check it out. Alright, so let's get into this. I have this tuned to open G. I'm going to make sure it is in tune so when this broadcast is archived, you guys can sit there, you can rewind it, and steal these licks. Let's increase your vocabulary on a 4-string. Okay, this is tuned open G. 4 strings, open G. It's G, D, G, and B. Okay, we got that? G, D, G, B. So many people, whenever they're messing with cigar box guitar, even whenever it's fretted, they all just want to keep taking one finger everywhere. But there's more you can do to it. If you have frets on it, and if it's made to be played fretted, then let's move those fingers around and get some cool sounds. I opened up this broadcast with this. A lot of guys, when they're playing that lick, that's the I'm a man or mannish boy lick, they go like this. And that's great if you're doing a slide, but for 4-string fretted, let me show you how I did that. And all I'm doing is I'm taking my middle finger, putting it on 2nd string, 2nd fret, index finger, last string, 1st fret. See that? And all I'm doing is, and then I'm taking my ring finger and hitting it on 1st string, 3rd fret. So, see that? There's your I'm a man lick. And it's easy, especially I use it like this in concert, instead of going, because I have to look more like this, and when I'm singing, I want my face turned to the crowd looking at them, and so I can just not even look at my hands and sing my lyrics like that. So it's easier to do and it sounds cool. So there's your I'm a man lick. Okay. Second, let's get into some Tin Pan Alley. Now, if you have my album Holler by Shane Speal's Snake Oil Band, there's a song on there called Simulated Sadie. And it is a Tin Pan Alley style song. It's an original of mine. And the lyrics deal with women getting too much plastic surgery. But the riff for it utilizes movable chords where your fingers stay the same. And it goes like this. This is so easy. So let me show you how I did it. What I did was I open, and then I go the whole way up to the 9th fret. Okay? And we're going to do middle finger, 9th fret, low string. Ring finger, 9th fret, 2nd string. And index finger, you're going to push it over here, the high string, 8th fret. And you've got this, let me do a little close up here. Boom. And open the camera a little. You see that? So you got 9, 9, open, 8. Okay? Okay. Now, so you got to kind of get your fingers set to be like that, because they are going to lock in place there, and it's just going to go from the 9th fret down to the 3rd fret. Same fingering. 2nd fret, same thing. Watch this. It's so easy. These are the type of licks, if you're selling cigar box guitars, the 4-string types, these are going to get people all excited. John Little just asked, what's a tuning? It is G, D, G, B. Open G. G, D, G, B. So we got that. We're going to do that 9, 9, open 8. 9, 9, open 8. Open. Same thing down at the 3rd fret. This finger starts at the 3rd fret here. Now I want you to notice something as I'm playing this. My picking hand is pretty much going the whole time, but I'm not playing the notes the whole time. If you notice, I'm pressing them down, but then when I don't want those chords to play, I just lift them up so that I get a string scratch. That's how I do it a lot of times. Usually this hand is just strumming away, and the fretting hand will push on those chords when I want them. When I don't want them, I just let it up so it scratches. So the whole lick is this. The way it resolves is you play that claw lick, you know, with the movable chord 3 times. On the 4th time, fingers straight across on the 5th fret, 6th fret, 7th fret. All together now. There you go. You just got a new lick in your pocket. So put it in your back pocket, learn it. If you've got a 4-string, try it out. It is just great. I like it because this 3rd string continues to ring out for most of the riff, and it adds a lushness to it. That's always ringing out. So. And I do a lot of that where I'm leaving strings open. And that's something, you know, licks like that, I'm only playing the low and high strings. So on and so forth. But no, just go back to this once this broadcast is archived and watch that and just... So let me see some of your questions. Arlen was asking what the scale length was. I think this is like a 24.5-inch scale. Larry Lawman asked, will this lesson be available? You're seeing it right now. This lesson is available, and it will be archived here on Cigar Box Nation Facebook. So we do archive these. I'm also going to be taking this lesson, and I'll probably chop it up, or maybe I'll just refilm it again and put it on our YouTube as well. Peter asked if what kind of guitar strings are on these. These are the original strings that came with the guitar, and G.S.Monroe used electric guitar strings. These are light gauge. I'm going to change these over to acoustic bronze whenever I change them, keeping them still very light gauge strings, because this is an antique box, and we don't want a whole bunch of pressure pushing down on it and hurting the box. But I'm going to try some acoustic ones on there. I always try all different strings, string gauges, tunings, things like that. That's the fun thing about cigar box guitars. There's no rules. So let me see. I'm just going to skip over some of these questions. Sorry I can't get to them all. Let me see. Someone just said about sounds great. I like the sound of 4 strings. 4 strings is fun. I mean, you could even take this into a minor key. Let me get that tuning right. This is G minor, where it's G, D, G, B flat. My band will do a lot with this. Season of the Witch. Try all different things. Just because there isn't a lesson out there doesn't mean you can't turn the tuning pegs on your cigar box guitar and experiment. That's where I got where I'm at. When I first started building and playing cigar box guitars, hell, there wasn't even an internet. And I just would sit there and I would change tunings, try different things, go for a 7th tuning. And that tuning is G, that's a 7th tuning, G, D, let me get that in there, F, and B. And so, just by me fiddling with the tuners, I came up with a G7th tuning. So, just because there isn't a lesson out there doesn't mean you can't play it. Just experiment. I see so many people are asking me, not today, but I get emails from people wanting like specific lessons on this or that, and it's try it. Try it yourself. Go out and make some huge mistakes. I used to bust through strings because I kept trying crazy tunings and they'd get too high or whatever. But it was all of that experimentation. That's where I came up with what I'm doing today. I mean, 4-string open G, you can play the Beatles. And I came up with that goofing around in my basement. There's no lesson for that online that I know of, 4-string open G Beatles in my life. That's just me just messing around. And trust me, if this stuff was hard, I wouldn't be able to play it. I'm not that good. Okay. Oh, I know what I wanted to show you. For you guys that are still beginning and you want to get out of this, let me give you the C6 Steve secret lick. I've taught this before in other lessons, and I use this. My God, if you saw me in concert, this is one of my secrets. I use this lick all the time whenever we get a whole driving beat going and the whole band is just fierce like a freaking locomotive. I'll just keep the guitar going in this lick and then sing whatever lyrics over top. But that I I stole from C6 Steve. And it starts out, it's open G, G, D, G, B. And I'm starting 3rd string, 3rd fret. And I'll hit it here, and then I'll go to the 2nd fret and pull it off. And do same thing, 2nd string. Change it around. I go everywhere with this. Sometimes I sit there and do this lick for like 16 measures. When we got some scatting going on and the harmonica players doing solos, I'll just start going 2nd string, 3rd fret, 2nd fret, pull off, 1st string, 3rd fret. Let me give you a close-up of that. Boom. Move the camera there. My God, I'll just ride that. I mean, the crowds are going, they're dancing and everything else. In fact, it's probably why this guitar is looking like this already. I mean, look at that. That's just scratches everywhere right there. So let me see some of your questions. Charles Overstreet said, what's more popular with 4 strings, open E or open G tuning? Quite honestly, and Glenn Watt just posted a lesson on this over at CB Giddy on Facebook. Open G seems to be the standard. There's no rules for this. There is no tradition saying you need to play your cigar box guitar in open G. Quite honestly, one of the main reasons it's so popular is the very first free lessons that were put on the internet were mine, back on a free GeoCities website back in the early 2000s, and the tuning that I recommended was open G. Well, so many people copied those free plans, built upon them, but they all kind of kept that open G. The reason open G is also popular, it's kind of that middle ground. You're using the middle strings, the 4 middle strings of a guitar. Not the low ones, not the high ones. The high ones can be tinny sometimes, sound too tinny. The low ones can drive a cigar box too much and sound like mush. So these 4 middle strings, these are actually A, D, G, and B strings off of a pack of guitar strings. Tuning them to open G is kind of like the good middle ground. So that's why it's more popular than other tunings. But trust me, in my band, what do I have? Where's my guitars? My guitars are over there. I have one guitar set up for open E. I have that's low. I have another guitar that's set up for baritone low C. And that's the one that I have that's has a broomstick on there. In fact, you know what, you guys, let me go get them. They're sitting right over here. I am going to do bad TV and walk off camera for a minute. Let me get these guitars so I can show you. And I'm just right over here. Where is my broomstick? Okay. Oh, wait, let me get this one too. Okay, I'm not going to double check the tunings on these. I'm just going to use them to show you guys. Here is my my open E guitar. This was made by Josh at Smokehouse Guitars. You guys ever download that book the advanced guide to cigar box guitar building, the free book that we have over at Cigar Box Nation, that was written by Josh Gayu, and this is one of his guitars. And that's probably even down to a D, depending on where we were in the concert. Whenever I left it like that, this broadcast is going to end soon because I just found out my battery's getting low. But this is the low C. And so that's very low. That's nothing but a broomstick through a box. But yeah, open G just seems to be the nice middle ground. Well, I've got my camera blinking, which means my battery's dying. You've got a couple new songs, or a couple new riffs that you can work on. This will be archived here on Facebook, and we'll put it elsewhere. But go back in this and watch it over. Hit pause, get the close-ups of my hands. But you can now do it. And then the I'm a Man. So there we are. My name is Shane Speal. Please check me out at shanespeal.com. And thank you to our sponsor, CBGitty, CBGITTY.com. All right, folks, I've got to run before this thing turns into a pumpkin. I'll see you later. Thanks. Bye.